I'm going to talk to you about how to choose a picture for your scratchboard project. Now, the good news is you get to choose anything you want to do for your scratchboard, with a few suggestions from me. Okay, so a scratchboard is a black surface, right? And so the types of pictures that are going to look good on scratchboard are ones that are high contrast, so there's lots of darks and lots of brights. And they should have a lot of black already in the picture. So scratchboard is very good for kind of dark and mysterious pictures, maybe a little bit creepy. We're coming on Halloween. It's also very good for things that have a lot of texture. So like animals, I can teach you how to do a fur texture. It may look hard when you're Googling like pictures of animal scratchboards, but really, I mean, the fur is just lots of little marks, okay? And so it's not as hard as you might think, okay? And I can teach you how to be successful at it. So animals are really good, and landscapes are really good as well because, again, landscapes have a lot of texture, like grass and trees and rocks, and so you can create that with the scratches on scratchboard, okay? So those are my suggestions. Let me just look at my list. I wrote down a few things of what to tell you guys. Okay, things that are not great on scratchboard. Oh, and like I want you to have something that has value. So it needs to have some type of texture, value, like shading from light to dark, or mark making, some kind of pattern, okay? It can't just be strictly a black and white image that's just blacks and whites, because I want you to practice what we've been practicing, cross-hatching and mark making, okay? So logos are not great, unless it's a logo that really has a lot of depth and dimension and shading on it. But a lot of logos, like the Adidas logo, absolutely not. Nike logo, no. Not hard enough, okay, not detailed enough. Cartoons are not great. Let me show you actually 2 cartoon pictures. Cartoons are very flat. Okay, there's no shading on this. It really wouldn't translate to scratchboard very well, okay? However, sometimes you do find some really dimensional cartoons, okay? Dimensional means it looks three-dimensional because it has shading, okay? So it's not like all cartoons wouldn't work, but most are very flat and wouldn't be great for scratchboard. And then things with a lot of lights, like a polar bear in the Arctic, probably not great for scratchboard because it's a lot of white and that's a lot of scratching. So you want to choose things that tend to be on the darker side. Okay, so here are your options for scratchboard. You can just Google something that's already a scratchboard and copy someone else's scratchboard off the internet. You're just learning, it's your first scratchboard. No shame in doing it that way for your first time, okay? Eventually, if you continue on to Art 3 and you're doing scratchboard, yeah, you're gonna be encouraged to do your own stuff and not just copy off the internet, but when you're just learning, it's fine. So say you wanna do a wolf, you can just Google wolf scratchboard, okay, and find something there and do that. You could also take something that's a photograph. So say you find a photograph of a wolf and you want to turn that into a scratchboard. You can. It is a little bit trickier because you have to do some of the work of how do I turn this photograph into scratchboard? How do I create these values into lines? Okay. Also, if it's a color reference, remember scratchboard is just black and white. So if you know how to do some photo editing, turn the picture black and white on your computer so you can get a good idea of the values, okay? Or you can send me a color version. I can edit it black and white and send it back to you. And then third option is you can draw from your head, okay? I love that students want to draw from their head, but I am picky about how you translate that to scratchboard. So usually what I have students do is another little mini practice scratchboard, and maybe a couple until we've come to agreement that I know, okay, you know how to put in the lights and not just outline everything in white. Scratchboard, remember, you're scratching out the light areas, leaving the dark areas. What I don't want to see is a drawing where you've just simply drawn with white on black, okay? So you can draw from your own head. I'll just coach you a little bit more on it and how to make it successful on scratchboard, okay? All right, so for this project, if you're in person, you probably haven't even watched this whole video. If you're in person, you just need to approve your picture with me in class. If you are online, to this assignment, you need to upload 3 different photographs of what you're thinking for your scratchboard, okay? If it's a drawing from your own head, you need to take a picture of the drawing and upload the picture of your drawing. If it's a photograph or a scratchboard from the internet, you need to save the image and upload it here. And then out of those 3, hopefully there will be one that I'll suggest of like, okay, this is going to be your best one, you should do that one, okay? And so we can work out just what you're doing before you start so that you can be successful. All right? Okay, let me know if you have any questions.